He said that when he was growing up and his grandfather was in the house, had come from India and staying in the house that he was growing up in with his parents, that his grandfather came and kept a packed suitcase at the door. And for all of the years of his life, he saw this suitcase at the door. And respecting his grandfather so much, he didn't want to ask him, Granddad, what's up with the suitcase? Well, you plan on going somewhere? So he said he didn't ask. He said he was a teenager before he asked his grandfather. And his grandfather said, I'm not going to be here long, so I'll keep my suitcase packed. So at the right moment, I don't even have to waste time. I'll grab my suitcase and I'll be out the door. Most of us, as we have raised our hand, have no intention of leaving this nation. This is it. Regardless of where we've come from, this is it. This is home. And you treat home differently than you treat some place that you're just visiting. The Prophet Muhammad has made it clear that we should live in this world as if we're visitors. Don't be too heavy with all your possessions and all these things, because we're just passing through. But I'm not talking about that kind of visitation. This is home. You and I intend to be here. So, in 4 minutes that I've been signaling, and I have to tell you, Ahmad, I have a trick. I've developed a trick. At the timekeeper, I'll start talking to this side of the room, right? I won't even look over there anymore, but I know it's time for Maghrib, so I'll look in your direction so you can continue to signal to me the time. That you and I, let me jump to a couple other points. That after September the 11th in 2001, it is my humble belief that the necessity of the moment for Muslims in the United States changed within an hour. I work in public schools, and I was directing this program in this middle school, and I was walking through a classroom on that morning at about 9-something, and one of my substitute teachers, I was going to check on him, and I walked in there and I saw the planes going into the building. I thought the man was watching a movie. So I began to say, man, what's going on? Come on, man, don't do this. And he told me what it was, and I sat down and found out what was going on. Within 1 hour, the necessity of the moment for Muslims in this country changed. Let me give you 1 or 2 quick examples. Right in the area where I live in Winston, Salem, there were Muslims in the Triad area of North Carolina within weeks, within months of September the 11th, 2001, picking up the telephone, calling Homeland Security on Muslim brothers and Muslim sisters that they had disagreements with. People were calling, you had an argument, a disagreement with the Imam. So let me call Homeland Security and tell them that Imam is a terrorist. Come and pick him up. Take him away. This had never happened in my 37 years of practicing Islam in this country. So there's so many things that the necessity of the moment changed for Muslims. These young people growing up today as Muslims are growing up into a different land and environment in America than you and I, who've been here for a number of years. That America that we knew is gone. It's changed. And the necessity of the moment today is a different necessity. It demands, like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, like those righteous predecessors before us, to understand what time are we living in. Is it time for us to be divided amongst ourselves, to have power lust, to want to be the one to say, my masjid is doing this and yours is not? To say that I have more money, I have bigger buildings, that my people are smarter than your people, or does the necessity of the moment, if we're intelligent today, demand that you and I figure it out? What can we do out of necessity? Not just a good idea. Don't train these young people to think that it's America of the 1970s, America of the 1980s. That's gone. It's dead, and as they say on the street, it's dead and spanking. That's gone. It's history. Learn from the history. But don't teach these children some twisted, distorted fantasy about our environment that no longer exists. Prepare them to be that part of this ummah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that can understand the necessity of the moment, that I can put down, that they can put down their selfish kinds of desires and interests. It doesn't mean erase it. Wait till they go on Hajj and you see on Hajj that the Bengali speakers are primarily sleeping beside the Bengali speakers. The Arabic speakers are primarily sleeping beside them. The English speakers are sleeping beside each other. They're interacting with one another, but it does not negate the fact that this is an ummah that is rooted in the necessity of the moment. We do what has to be done to advance the cause of Islam. Help teach our children this. Don't instill in our children ideas that you and I have harbored in our hearts for so long. So brothers and sisters, in closing, the necessity of the moment helps us to come up with something called operational unity. It means that if, and I'll use this as an example, one example. It means that if the masjid that I am a part of recognizes that this country has an elephant standing in the middle of the living room and doesn't want to recognize the elephant, that racial discrimination is a gigantic elephant that is standing in the middle of the living room of America, the presidential candidate that many of us support. I submit that people love Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, who are not of the same race or ethnicity of him. Why? Because he makes us feel good by saying we're not going to discuss this nasty, pernicious, wicked thing called racism in America.